Are you busy or are you actually building something and moving forward towards something? Guys, there's a difference between busy work and work that actually gets you results, okay? Everyone says work hard, stay productive, keep grinding, but what if all that hustle, guys, isn't helping you move forward? Okay? What if you're just running around in circles, busy all day, but building nothing that lasts? You guys got to ask yourself these kind of questions. Let's get into it a little bit. Took some notes, gather my thoughts for you guys, sharpen my tongue for you guys, get better at my communication skills. You know, I'm improving constantly right along with you, right? There's always room for improvement in all areas. So, part one here that I want to discuss with you guys is the cult of constant busyness. Okay, I've noticed this. There is this idea that if I'm just good for you that you're out there and you're making moves and you're moving, but let's sharpen that a little bit. And the main one of the main points here is understand the difference, guys, between doing work just to feel like you're busy versus doing work that actually is going to get you some results. There is a difference. Okay? Today we live in a world that celebrates being busy. If your calendar's full, people think you're successful. If you say you're tired, they say, "Oh, that's the grind, bro." But busyness doesn't always mean progress, okay? Think about a hamster on a wheel. It runs fast. That little hamster's running fast. You're a good little hamster. You're running fast. You're super busy, but you're staying in the same spot. You're staying in the same place. That's what most people do. Meetings, calls, scrolling, fake work. It feels productive, but it's not building anything real, guys. Okay? The second thing I want to kind of touch on here is, let's get into the illusion of productivity. Sometimes we confuse motion with meaning. Okay, you finish 20 small tasks, you check your email, you reply to messages, and yeah, it's something you could check off and it feels good. But and you got that little dopamine hit as a result of being able to check it off. You wrote stuff down on a piece of paper. I have to do this and to do, and then you get it done, and you check it off, and I accomplished something. It's forward momentum, good, but I mean, but you got to ask yourself, guys, did any of that actually move your goals forward? You can spend all day answering emails and still be in the same spot next month and next year. I'm busy, Mo. I'm super busy all day, every day. I've been busy for the past, but I'm not moving forward, Mo. What's going on? What's going on? There's a difference between busy work and work that'll actually get you the results that you want and to help you move forward. Mo, I'm not moving forward. Well, this is what this video is about, guys. Why you're busy but you're not moving forward? Why? You gotta analyze these things. You gotta really take inventory of what are you doing every day, and is it actually helping you move forward or is it not? If it's not, you gotta cut it out. Don't do things just for the sake of being busy or feeling busy like you're accomplished something. Got your little dopamine hit, right? Another example, right? A student who keeps rewriting their notes but never studies the hard chapters. You keep rewriting those notes, you keep watching those tutorials, but you never actually get your booty down there, get and freaking buckle down and start trying to make it happen. Actually do the hard stuff that works. Have those conversations. You know, a lot of you guys out there like to, you're like trying to do like what vibe coding to like get some apps going and stuff. That's great. Guess what? Once you build the app, how are you going to market it? How are people going to know that it's available? You got to make phone calls. You got to reach out. You got to send out DMs. You got to communicate with other human beings and let them know, like, hey, I created this thing. It might be helpful for you. If it's helpful, leave a good review, or if it's super helpful, hey, if your stuff is really actually solving problems out there, people might even pay for it. But nothing's happened if you don't have those conversations. You thought you're just going to vibe code and get something out there live, and suddenly everyone's going to flood in? No, there's sales and marketing. Can you get on the phone call and have those conversations? Those are the tasks that are actually going to get you moving forward. Do you have enough cojones to make the phone calls and get rejected by 100 people, get rejected by 1,000 people, just to get the word out? That's part of it, right? Another example is a student who keeps rewriting their notes but never studies the hard chapters. They feel busy, but they're not learning, okay? So here's the hidden cost, guys, of the hidden hustle culture that we seem to be. There seems to, it seems to be something that, and I feel for those, for you guys out there that are like trying to hustle. You guys are actually trying to do something, right? But just you got to just sharpen your sword a little bit, man. Like I said, like, there's a right way and a wrong way of doing things. You're headed in the right direction by actually taking action, but once you start taking the action, you don't stop. You don't just stop and be happy with, oh, I started taking the action. You got to do it correctly. So being busy all the time has a cost, guys. You burn out, you lose focus, you forget why you even started, right? You stop doing the deep work, the kind that actually changes your life. When you chase every task, you never stop to think. You don't create new ideas. You don't build systems. You just react. And then suddenly you forgot why you were doing things and you're just busy. Okay, why am I even doing all this? Right? What's the goal here? That's the reason why people, successful people always give you this the suggestion that you have to write things down. You have to write it down what your goal is. What's the end result? What are you trying to get out of this? Because once you start heading in that path, in that direction, you're going to, start getting busy because you're trying to make things happen, right? But if you don't have something to look at to keep you on the path, you're on your own sailboat in your direction, right? You got to have your compass that lets you know, like, hey, did you lose the plot here, or are you still moving forward correctly to hit that goal that you wrote down? If you don't write it down, you forget. Why am I? You get all busy. Why am I even doing all this in the first place, right? These are strategies you got to be focused. It's so reclaim. So this is how that stuff. This is the kind of stuff that happens, right? This is the cult of the constant busyness. This is the illusion of productivity. There are hidden costs of the hustle culture. You start wasting time eventually if you don't stay focused and focus your efforts properly. So how do you solve this problem, Mo? How do I solve this problem? Reclaiming the true progress, right? To escape the trap, guys, you have to focus on your big rocks. Okay? Imagine you have a jar, okay? You fill it with sand at first, the little stuff. There's no room for big rocks, right? Oh, is it starting to click? You have a jar, you have a bunch of tiny little pieces of sand particles, and you also have big rocks. You fill that jar up with the sand. How are you going to put the big rocks, the big goals that matter? How are you going to put that in there? There's no room left for the big rocks because we're sprinkling all these tiny little insignificant little busy tasks in there instead of focusing on the big ones that get you the results, right? So, but if you put the big rocks in first, the important things, the sand fits around them, right? Your big rocks are the things that actually change your life, guys. Learning new skills, building your brand, improving your health, growing your faith. Everything else is just sand. You got to learn to prioritize these things. Time management, priority skills, right? These are kind of, I hope I'm linking them together in such a way that it kind of clicks in your mind why these things matter, why these things are important. These are little tools in your toolbox that I'm hoping to give you that helps. Whether even if you're making a YouTube channel, focus on the things that matter. What are the things that matter? Consistency in your content. It's something I'm working on too right now, guys. Being consistent with my content, being You know, it's all a process, and you have to keep doing, taking action, being consistent, and taking imperfect action. Right? These are all things that build on each other, and they make a big difference. They compound. Your skills compound. You get better and better as you do them. In the process of being consistent and taking action, you end up getting better and better. You know, I'm constantly trying to improve too. I look at my older videos, and I try to see, you know, my communication was dookie, and it still is, but my communication now, you know, 20, 30 videos later is better than it was when I in my first couple of videos, where I was just rambling on, not making my point, and I left it up there. Go check it out. Right? So part number 5, guys, building and not just being busy. Okay, once you understood how to reclaim your true progress, focusing on the big rocks and not the little rocks. Part 5 here that I've written down for you guys is building, not just being busy. Okay, building means creating something that lasts, a skill, a system, a business, a better version of you, your better communication skills, etc. Right? So here's what to do. Number 1, every morning, write down one thing that really matters. Just one. You'd be surprised how many people are, have to actually think about that. Like, you actually have never done that. Like, what's one thing that actually matters, right? And then do that first, before the emails, before the scrolling. Legit, if it actually matters, it's going to be more important than the emails and the phone calls and whatever else you got going on, right? If you do that one meaningful thing every day, you'll be shocked how much you build in a year, depending on what your goals are, right? What your actual real goals are, right? So in closing here, guys, busyness, can it look impressive? Oh, I'm so busy. My calendar's packed full, blah, blah, blah. Show me your calendar, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it looks impressive, right? You know, building changes lives. Taking action changes lives. It does. You know, it's one of those unspoken things. Like, I mean, if you are taking action in the right direction, and you're taking the right actions consistently over a long enough period of time, it's very difficult not to succeed, right? So, can busyness look impressive? Yeah, but don't let the world trick you into thinking motion equals progress. Motion doesn't always equal progress, guys. I just want to throw that out there as a perspective. The hamster on a wheel, the cute little animal running around on a little wheel, a little hamster wheel. Just, they're in motion, they're running, but are they going anywhere? No. So motion doesn't always equal progress. Slow down. Focus on what matters. Build what matters, guys. Don't be the little hamster on little hamster wheel just trying to be busy to look impressive, but in reality you're not getting anywhere because you're just a little hamster on the hamster wheel trying to look busy. Focus on what matters, guys, because 1 year from now you'll either have the results, okay, or you'll have the excuses that sound a lot like "I was busy." Let me know what you think, good or bad. Like or dislike the video. Let me know how you feel. Let me know. Hit me with it. Put your comments in the comment section of the video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.